Yo guys, what's up? It's Khaled here and welcome back to another video on the channel. As you guys can see, I'm an Ultimate Team and it is going to be another player review. This time, the 87 rated walkout from Manchester United, Paul Pogba. So, you will see I have played one game with him already and scored one goal. It was a belter from outside the box, but unfortunately I was not recording, or I lost that recording rather, which is quite annoying. But anyway, with Pogba, he does have 5-star skills, 4-star weak foot, he's 6'3" with height, medium work rates. I did put a shadow on him because he does need that pace and defending boost to play in centre mid. And all of his stats are actually really insane. That 90 shot power and 84 long shots are very noticeable in game. So is that 92 long passing, 88 short passing. His defending isn't really bad, and his physical, the only problem I have with him is that 87 stamina. As you can see, he does have the outside of the foot shot trait. And we are just going to get ahead into some gameplay. And hopefully you guys are going to see what he can do, what he can't do, and hopefully I can help you guys and determine whether he's worth that 135,000 coins at this very early stage of the game. So guys, we are going to have a look at the team, and without further ado, we are going to get into the gameplay for the Paul Pogba highlights. Okay guys, so the first thing you guys will see from this review is a Paul Pogba drive through midfield. No skills needed, just the 87 sprint speed and the physicality of the Frenchman was enough to drive past a couple of players in midfield and create a chance for us that unfortunately Foden's touch was a bit too heavy. But here you will see his attack positioning really been shown off here. He holds his run, he's able to use his strength to hold up a couple of defenders and get the shot away into the back of the net. And with keepers in this game, that shot is not right into the corner where it was. It is going to be saved, whether the keeper's on the other side of the goals or not, which is quite frustrating sometimes, but I suppose it is realistic, so it is what it is. Here you guys will see, like I mentioned, attack positioning earlier. Pogba continues his run through midfield all the way to the edge of the box, and I went for the speculative effort, and maybe a bit too speculative, but it is a review to try and see what he can do, what he can't do, so why not? You guys might be wondering why I put a Diogo Jota goal in this Pogba review. That's because in that pass right, Pogba didn't go through that small gap to Lucas. I wouldn't have been able to score the goal. So there, yet again, courtesy of Paul Pogba, we get yet another goal. I did decide here to show off his 5-star skills, a little flick over his head, another flick over the defender. Sissoko comes out and he actually wins it back off Sissoko after losing it. And you guys will see that quite often his aggression is really important. It is one of his key stats. And he's able to just hold off defenders. He loses it, he'll go and he'll win it back. He does not give up, which is a huge plus of this Pogba card. Yet again, the passing, as you guys can see, is perfect. He's just able to weight it perfectly into Telles' path. And he's able to take that touch, get it on the defender, and get a penalty, which I actually will end up taking with Paul Pogba. Five hours later. So as you guys will see, he eventually scores from the penalty once he reaches the ball, which is pretty cool actually, that long animation from the penalty. It shows that he does have his own penalty animation in game, as he splits the defense there with that pass. And I really do like the way Pogba passes the ball, his style of passing, his ability to hold off defenders. He's really good in this game. And as you guys can see, he continues his run again, moving into the box. Unfortunately, the guy moves his goalkeeper and Pogba finesses it straight into him. I don't think it was going to go in anyway, even if he didn't move his keeper, but it would have probably been rebounded. And you guys will see here a really good switch across to Oxlade-Chamberlain. It's inch perfect. He plays it in and it comes to Foden, and the keeper makes yet another good save. With this Pogba card, guys, he is, in my opinion, fully worth the coins. His ball control, his dribbling, his touches, his dribbling, his passing, his defending, even his aerial ability is really good in this game. Unfortunately, that's going to go down as an own goal, but much of it was courtesy of Pogba, that ball roll to create space, and the finish after that was unfortunately not his own, but we will count that as his goal for the sake of this review, as you saw him miss the finesse shot before that. Here this ball gets into Foden, and unfortunately we couldn't make anything of it, but yet again showcasing Pogba's passing ability in midfield. And there, that clip is absolutely perfect because it shows that he can hold off defenders. He's able to turn on the half turn. On the half turn, he can produce those passes and get players away. Here, showing off his aerial ability, wins the header down into Diogo Jota, and he's really good at that. Unfortunately, we were getting yet again hammered in this match 3-0. I just attempted a speculative left-footed curling shot from outside the box, which didn't really work. And like I mentioned earlier, his drives through midfield are really good. As you saw, a couple of flip-flaps and good aggression to hold off a few defenders and take our team forward. And the good thing about this Paul Pogba card is that you can play him anywhere in midfield. You can play him at cam, he'll get a shooting position and he'll score. You can play him at CDM, where he's dropped between defenders, making those passes out of defense like that one to Chamberlain. Or you can just play him as a centre mid, but yeah, like I'm saying, play him anywhere and he will do really well for you. Here you guys can see a midfield battle with Sissoko, who is actually really strong in this game. He loses it after winning it twice, and eventually wins it back from Ivan Toney. And that's not all he does in this move. Actually, he gets the ball from Brownhill, a little touch to set himself up, ball roll inside, and the finisher from outside the box, and he's able to finesse it past the goalkeeper. That is a great goal from Pogba. And newsflash, is not the best goal in this review, which actually says a lot about him. And you guys will see yet again he makes quite a few interceptions, which sends us through on the counter attack, and he sends us through on this one as well. Fortunately, I should have gone for the ball roll rather than the dummy to sit the defender down, but we are winning the game anyway. And this goal is actually the best goal of the review. Leaves the ball, gets beyond Sissoko, flip-flap into space, and that is absolute perfection. A really sexy goal from Paul Pogba. We are going to have another look at it and just break down what exactly he did. So he's able to leave the ball, and that is so fun to watch. And he can do this over and over again. That 5-star skills with the flip-flap, just leaves the ball there, comes back onto the end of it, step over and a flip-flap to create space, just takes him away from Partey, and the finesse shot is inch perfect. Even a little bit more to his left, it would have been blocked or saved. A little bit more to his right, it would have hit the post. So really great finish there from Paul Pogba to make the score 3-0 in this game. He is really good. He's able to carry the defense and the attack and the midfield with the way he plays. As you guys saw, he exited from the skill move really quickly and played it out to Walker Peters. Unfortunately, the rainbow flick is blocked. I guess EA completely nerfed that this FIFA, but all the other skills with Pogba is really good. As you guys can see here, Pogba does come short because I am under pressure, gets it to Foden, gets it back to Pogba, a little fake shot onto the left foot to try and catch the keeper out, but I guess that's impossible in this game. And this interception actually sends us through on goal, and we do get a goal, courtesy of that Pogba interception. I think he did stop playing, or he started lagging or something, but nonetheless we'll take the goal, courtesy yet again, like I said, of that Paul Pogba interception. He's actually really fun to use. He just runs circles around players in midfield, and he's able to just pick out those long passes for fun. Actually, he's really good at those. Unfortunately, a heavy touch there, but he wins it back. Like I said, he loses it. He doesn't just stand and watch. He gets back into the action and he wins it back. And I'm going to try to create a shooting opportunity from this. Can I? Yes, I can, but unfortunately, he belts it against the player's leg, and we are not able to score from that. Yet again, you see Pogba wins it back. Foden gets it into Jota, and his touch is heavy and the chance is gone. And yeah, again, from defense, like just in front of the defense, is able to pick those passes to send us through on the counter attack. So if it's not his interceptions, or if it's not him scoring himself, it is his passes which we managed to get goals out of, which is really helpful. And as you guys saw there, I tried to get it back into Pogba for the first time, shot across goal, but unfortunately it's not going to work. And that pass is absolute perfection. Unfortunately, the keepers are cracked in this game. Maybe a better player would have scored that, like Mane, for example, or Son. But unfortunately, the keeper did pull off a great save. And this is actually the last, one of the last clips of the Pogba review. A great save from the goalkeeper yet again. And I think this is actually the last clip of the Pogba review. His aerial ability is really good in midfield, you need that sometimes, and his passing is really accurate, as you saw with the pass back to Phil Foden. So, an overall review of Paul Pogba. Is he worth the 135,000 coins at this stage of the game? In my opinion, yes, 100%. But if you only have 135k, don't go and splash it all out on Pogba. Rather split it out over your team. Yes, Pogba can carry your team, but in my opinion, you'd rather do that than splash the cash on a singular player. You saw he had 5 goals from 5 games actually, and that is because, like I mentioned earlier, I think I did lose one of the matches. Unfortunately, I recorded it and then I exited the game without cancelling the recording, saving the recording, sorry, and unfortunately that goal was cut out. But it was actually a really good goal, a typical drive through midfield, gets to the edge of the D, and I hit the shot across goal, drilled it along the ground, and it found the bottom corner. So a really good goal from Pogba that we missed out on, unfortunately, but I suppose it is what it is, because the other goals scored in this review were absolutely fantastic. Okay guys, so when it comes down to individual stats with Paul Pogba, I'm going to rate him from pace to physical, and we are going to see if he is actually worth the coins, like I said he is. So for pace, I'm going to give him a 7.5 out of 10. He is fast enough to run the game in midfield. He is fast enough to drive through players, as you saw him do throughout the review, with the 87 sprint speed, and the 73 acceleration is more than good enough in midfield, considering he's got that 89 strength and a 78 aggression. So even if he does lose it due to not being able to get away quickly after beating a man, he is usually able to push the players and keep the ball. So his pace, I'm going to give him a 7.5 out of 10. Really good in that attribute. And for shooting, I'm going to give him a 8.7 out of 10 because his shooting is actually really good. Provided you're not shooting from ridiculous angles inside the box or outside the box, it will most likely go in, as you saw. Maybe some finesse shots from range you will miss occasionally, but that 90 shot power really does carry that shooting category. So I am going to give him an 8.7 out of 10 because his shooting actually is really good. Now the passing, guys, the main stat on this card is passing. His passing is absolutely cracked. You put him in CDM and you make a pass. You put him in cam, you make a pass. Center mid, anywhere on the pitch, you press X, triangle, square, or whatever it is on Xbox. I think it's Y, A, and B. He is going to make that pass easily to whoever is standing in space. He will make that pass. So in my opinion, Paul Pogba's passing really is really good in this game, and I'm going to give his passing a 9.4 out of 10, or 9.5 out of 10 actually. His passing is really cracked in this game. His dribbling, I'm going to go with 9 out of 10. You guys saw he's got 5-star skills, he's able to glide past players in midfield with that dribbling. So for me, easily a 9 out of 10. His defending is actually really good. He's able to make some really good interceptions. I think the shadow does come into play there. So his defending, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10 because he can play as a secondary CDM provided you've got someone who stays in defense next to him, like Kante for example. But yeah, with Pogba, I'm going to give him a 7 or 8 out of 10. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10 actually for defending. Guys, as you would have seen through the review, Pogba is really strong. So his physicality, I'm going to give him a 9. I would have given him a 9 out of 10, but because of the 77 stamina, he does tend to tire out around 70 minutes or so, which is not really what you want from a 135k card in centimeters. So unfortunately, his physical is going to go down to 8.5, which is still good enough, I guess. So guys, with that, I do bring an end to this video. If you guys like this video, please smash the thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And until then guys, stay tuned for the next one. Peace.